Welcome to Junior Achievement, and thanks for your interest in being a JA volunteer. In this video, we'll talk about how to redirect conversations with students. We'll share typical questions students ask and give you examples and suggestions on how you can respond. Remember, as a volunteer, we want you to be comfortable with what you share and to know you're not expected to be an expert on all things. We know that every class is different, but remember the teacher will be there to assist you. Let's get started. Over time, students may ask you questions or share stories that may seem too personal or that do not relate to the JA program content. Students may ask your age, if you're married or dating, if you have any children, and even how much money you make. So how do you handle these types of questions? With a little preparation, you can anticipate questions and keep your JA session moving smoothly. As a JA volunteer, we want you to share what you feel comfortable discussing, as well as what's appropriate for the age group and for sharing with students in general. We also want you to keep in mind the volunteer conduct standards provided by your local JA area office. Here are some examples and tips for you to consider. Acknowledge the question or questions being asked and try to briefly provide an answer with the goal of redirecting the conversation back to the topic in the session's learning goals. When you initially meet your class at your first visit, consider briefly sharing a little bit about yourself to ward off additional personal questions and possibly prevent other off-topic questions from arising. Even with the best of introductions, students may still ask personal questions. It's not uncommon for students to ask how much money you make. You might share that a person starting out in your career field can expect to earn about X amount a year, or the average salary range for someone in your field might be X. If a student asks about family and you aren't comfortable sharing that information, you could say that your kids attend school in X township, that you live near this community, or other general references. Bottom line, you don't have to be specific if you don't want to. On the topic of family, it's a good idea to keep in mind that for some students, family has a more broad connotation. Their family might include parents, guardians, relatives, or friends. If a student or students continue to ask off-topic questions, or if they begin to share a story during your introduction, allow the student to share for a few seconds and thank him or her for sharing. Reiterate that today's goal is to get through your JA content and activities and that you're excited to get started and share the information with them. As a volunteer, you're not expected to be an expert on all things. If a student asks a question and you don't know the answer, it's perfectly acceptable to tell the students, "I don't know," but that you'll find out and let them know the next time you visit. Then, follow up and follow through. Or, challenge the class or student to look up the answer too so they can compare their findings with yours. This is a great way to build rapport, and by following up with the students, you're earning their trust. You have the option, if time and your classroom teacher allows it, to let the students know that if time permits at the end of the session or JA program, you would be happy to stay a few extra minutes to learn more about their class. Remember, the students are excited to have you in their class and they look forward to learning from you. As you consider these tips and examples, ask your teacher how they handle off-topic questions. We hope you enjoy your JA volunteer experience. If you have additional questions, you can always reach out to your local JA area representative. For more information about specific JA programs or to locate the JA area office closest to your location, please visit www.juniorachievement.org. As a Junior Achievement volunteer, you're part of a network of more than 250,000 volunteers who impact nearly 5 million students across the USA to own their economic success. Junior Achievement USA gratefully acknowledges Fidelity Investments for their dedication to the development of additional training resources for JA volunteers. Junior Achievement appreciates its partnership with Fidelity Investments to inspire and prepare young people to succeed in a global economy.